likes music, so
a song makes me blush.
I love that song. I love the inappropriate stuff, but that's all right.
That song's not inappropriate.
So eventually, no, not really. We got some new equipment.
Yeah.
We want to, for season 3 that we've been trying to figure out. We want some new stuff.
Yeah.
So we want you to be able to watch us and hang out and comment. So moving forward, at least when we're here, we're going to stream live to YouTube where you should be able to comment. We're hoping that we can see your comments. For some reason, Porsche Colorado Springs has us on lockdown and we can't respond or look at comments on our own videos. So we might have to talk to the IT department about that. But we should be live right now. There are exactly 0 people watching. So hopefully that improves. We got a lot of room to go up. But for those of you that are there on the audio version of this, we're First Dibs. We're live on tape and on camera from the Pre-Owned and Classic showroom here at Porsche Colorado Springs. We're sitting at the corner of my desk. Behind me, there's a Singer, and there's the beautiful red 993 GT2. Yeah. So you can actually see it now if you want.
Right.
So come check us out. I might even post this if you want to see it on my my what do you call it? YouTube feed.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's where it's playing now?
Yep.
Excellent. So we got a lot of things to cover potentially tonight.
That sounds good.
Yeah. No, we do have some big energy, I think, that's happening. A couple of things that are coming up in our schedule is not tomorrow, but next weekend, the 3rd. Saturday the 3rd is Sports Car Together Fest. So we're having our classic car show, Classic K, at the museum. Will be happening from 10 to 2, I think is what the time frame is. General public is completely, open, welcome, no charge, anything like that to come check it out. And then if you're entering a car, you do need to register with us. You can contact John or I to do that. You can go to our website and register. I believe it's $35 a car, and it's all classic. Porsche classic cars are welcome to register. And so that's anything 996 generation and older, and then actually to a 2010 and Cayenne and older Cayennes can register for that. So anyway, looking forward to that. And then I got to tag along that our Kansas City crew is going to be joining us there. I'm
excited for those guys to show up.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's been a huge deal. Very long time planning in the works for them to put all this together, and it's coming to life. Well, it has been. It's come to life, and then the actual experience is going to happen in a week from today. They're going to be here at the dealership around closing time to take a tour of the facilities, because some of the members of the Kansas City crew have been here, and that's how they know about us. Majority of the people coming have never been here. They've just heard about us. So I'm really looking forward to that, getting to show them around and they can see what we do and meet the people inside, faces with names. That's going to be a lot of fun. Again, I would welcome anybody, right, that's in the area to come while the Kansas City crew is here. It's just one of those things, the more the merrier. And it's just kind of, share that enthusiasm for what we do here at Porsche Colorado Springs. Because anyway, I mean, I know I'm into it. John's into it. I think everybody here is looking forward to it. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do in our spare time. We record a podcast doing exactly this. We talk about cars. We like to talk about cars. What else is there? So come and talk about cars with other people and make them think they should move here. We'll drive our property values up even more. I'm excited for that a lot. This whole the next like 3-4 weeks are going to be really fun. I think we've got, I'm going up to the Morgan Adams Concours tomorrow. So that's going to be exciting. My son, Lewis, the only thing he wanted to see was a Ferrari F50. It sounds like there will be one there. Nice. Excited to see that. We got a room up there so we can kind of enjoy it and then call a 30-second Uber to get back to the hotel. I'm really excited to participate in that. It seems like, I know the dealership has been there, you've been there, but I've never been a part of it. So it'll be fun to go out and check it out. They shut down the Centennial Airport, right, which is one of the busiest airports in the nation. Yeah. Commercial, or what do you call
Municipal?
It? Civil aviation, right? It's kind of a smaller, it's not DIA, but in terms of, big money people with private jets, they like to fly into Centennial. And I think we were watching... Oh, what's that movie? I want to say Godiva, but it's not. The Gucci family, the Gucci.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Yeah. You were
whatever. The Gucci story. Yeah.
Right.
And for part of it, they get tickets to fly to New York on the Concorde. And like, I am really excited to fly to New York on the Concorde, but I can't do it anymore, which is a bummer. But there's a company called Boom,
right,
that is working on new supersonic jets. Mm-hmm. And I think they're based out of the Centennial Airport, or at least they have something to do with it. So nice. I don't know if they'll be there next year or this year or what, maybe. But that could be exciting. Absolutely. Supersonic travel coming back at you from the 70s, you know.
Well, I hope you get that trip to New York on the Concorde.
Thank you. Hey, guys got a dream.
That's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of classic cars, our 2003 Turbo went to the Works reunion, and which was so the show was last Friday. Mm-hmm. And I think we had mentioned it didn't win anything, right? But it made it, and it made it back. Mm-hmm. You know, okay,
just as dusty as it left.
Right. Already in talks about selling that car, moving it along the way from a gentleman. Ironic that we know already, but he's based out of Texas, and he came across the car at the show.
No way.
Yeah, and talked to our guy that was with it and said, "Hey, I'd really like to take a run at buying this car." So we're already, dealing with that, which is
awesome.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, that makes me think. Like, there were some really cool cars there. I think Santa Clarita, we talked about. They did this like Safari Targa or something like that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, not really a restoration, more of the Singer style reimagining.
Yeah,
but it makes me think, like, what would our listeners want to see us do next year? You know,
absolutely.
All I have is ideas, right? I have no execution. I'm just the idea guy. So if you want to hear mine, write in. I'll bore you to death with that. But I was talking to a client at the end of last week that has a Rest of World 1976 Targa Carrera 3-liter.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that car, to me, a lot of the hard work's been done. The motor's been rebuilt. The transmission's been rebuilt and things like that. But it needs full reassembly, and it could use a paint job.
Yeah.
I would love to see that done.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think those early G-Series cars don't get enough love. Mm-hmm. That thing, I think it was 200 horsepower. That's like 50 more than the U.S. market cars, which are still a ton of fun. Right. So to me, that thing, that deserves a serious restoration.
Yeah.
So I would love to do something like that.
We were looking those up there. They made roughly 400 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
For the rest of the world. And they never came here. This one, I think, came out of Germany.
So that's a 3-liter before the SC.
Yeah.
The SC was a big deal because they went from the 2.7 to the 3-liter.
Exactly. So it's basically Carrera RS power levels.
Right.
And those early cars, I don't think they weighed that much more. I mean, they weighed more than a Carrera RS lightweight. Yeah. But I mean, you're talking 2,500 pounds rather than 1,900 for the lightweight and 22-ish for the standard car.
Right.
I don't know. I think, hey, we got 2 viewers.
Hey.
Thanks, people.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks for checking us out. We do a podcast. If you guys are just randomly stumbling on this, we do a podcast every Friday night. Now it's going to be live on YouTube. So cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, John.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for making it happen.
Yeah, here we are. We're drinking wine.
I got to get back to my notes here. So, these are just kind of a couple.
They left.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
Screw them.
They're probably in Australia or something like that.
That's fine.
But a couple of topics that we were thinking about is, what was it? Run down to, obviously we got a couple cars that are fresh trades or purchases that just came in. Our classic car show with the Kansas City crew, we've already briefly discussed that. Sport driving school, maybe we could talk about that a little bit as far as the school in Birmingham, Alabama, or outside of Birmingham. A new segment that John and I have been talking about for a little bit is called Market Watch.
I have a couple cars I want to talk about in that.
Okay.
They're the big ones.
Okay. Porsche has a program called Excite, with an exclamation point after it. And it's about, creating great stories, that are client based. But anyway, it's from an individual at a dealership, and they even have an award, that they give out for Excite stories. So I'm sure we've got some here that it's kind of every day for us for the most part. Maybe we should actually submit these.
That's a good plan.
One of the cool things that came up yesterday, a new game that I learned about is called the Vending Machine Challenge.
That sounds fun.
We could talk about
I would
that.
crush that game. All the way through the Mentos.
We are. This Porsche Colorado Springs is also somewhat known to be one of the only dealerships, if not the only Porsche dealership, that actually handles quite a few cars out of Canada. Mm-hmm. And there seems to be a lot of questions that come up about cars that come from Canada when someone's interested in.
The only thing I've noticed is they smell like maple syrup. Like the exhaust note, I think, and it goes away after you put a fresh tank in there. Right. But I think there's something about the ethanol they make that I think it's maple sap derived. I don't know.
Let's see here. Oh, we need to get to Start Me Up towards the end of our show, which is another segment.
Let's do Market Watch. So, our friend Scott Simpson with the Automobili Rally called me on Wednesday, and he was just asking. He was saying, what do you think about the Carrera GT? Mm-hmm. And obviously, I love it, but he has a friend and client that was out at the Car Week and was just in that investment car mood and looking at these things are awesome. What do you look out for? Obviously those cars people have come to love them in the past 2 years, right? They've really kind of seen an uptick. But if you were going out to buy one, what do you look for? I told him, you're the person here at the dealership, I think, to talk to about it. You were a technician when they were new, so you have miles in them. I haven't even moved one. So, and that's what I told him. I said, I'm not the person, but part of the cool thing about being here is I have access to the people that know this, that were there, that can really answer the questions about it. I think when Ray Schaefer was on, he was like, you guys are the people.
Right.
You don't need to talk to us. You guys are the people, and I've really come to embrace that. But I'd like to talk about that one a little bit, and then I think also it's Big Brother, the 918.
Okay,
just why not start at the top?
Right.
And then I think we can predict the next one. I think it's time to talk a little bit about what we think the new hypercar is going to be.
Okay. Well, as far as, I guess the 918, start at the top.
Let's start at the GT.
The GT.
Is that all right?
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. The Carrera GT is obviously a pretty amazing car, and we've seen it do amazing things here in the market side of things for the last year and a half or so. But as far as, my experience, like you say, being around when they were brand new, is those cars were hard to sell. Really hard to sell.
It was $500,000.
Right.
Give or take.
Yeah. 425 was kind of the average, MSRP right in there. And the dealership I was at, when those came out, we wound up having 3 of them. First one was GT Silver with terracotta interior, and then the next 2 were Guards Red with black interior.
Oh, wow.
And anyway, but I remember the first car, we had a big event for it. Lots of people showed
Somebody
up.
liked us.
That's awesome. We had a big event for it. It was kind of a party. It was showing the car off because none of these were pre-sold.
Yeah.
When they came.
No
in.
way.
No,
they weren't ordered.
No, no, and people were having a hard time. Porsche cars weren't $400,000 at the time.
So that's 05.
Oh, yeah.
A top trim Turbo S cab is maybe, if you did paint to sample and a custom interior, you could hit 2. Maybe with ceramics.
That would be really hard.
That's what I mean.
That would be super hard.
Yeah.
So this 04 and 05, they were supposed to make them for 2006 as well. That's why it's a weird number. It's like 1,251 or 1,252.
Yeah, I was going to say 44, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a goofy number on how many they made because it was supposed to span for 3 years. However, airbag laws changed. And so the single ignition airbags is what airbags had been forever.
Those are the ones that break your nose but save your life.
Right. Yeah. Give you burns.
Yeah.
But again, you go to the burn unit, not to the morgue.
Yeah.
And then so dual ignition airbags became standard. Well, anyway, rather than go through all of the painful process, of doing re-engineering and all that kind of stuff for dual ignition airbags in this car, Porsche said, "Nah, scrap it. We don't need to. There's enough. We don't need to do any more." Probably a good call, just because they were really difficult to sell. The first one that we had stuck around for a little while. The guy that bought that car is actually still a good friend and client. He definitely wishes he still had that car today. Not because of the investment, but it was just, he's a car guy.
There's just not anything like that, I don't think.
No,
out there.
not.
I mean, the LFA has a similar sounding motor, right? It's still a high revving V10, but those were automatics only,
right?
And those were front engine, right? It's a different thing. And the other I like that each generation of these hypercars, it's kind of seemed there's been 3 of them, right? And with those, it was the McLaren SLR, automatic,
right?
Awesome, super lightweight, everything except Mercedes SL interior, so they weren't light.
Yeah.
And then the Enzo,
right,
which had awesome V12 Ferrari, but paddle shifters that I've never driven one, so if you've got one, I would love the experience. I'm sure it's awesome. When we drove the 575, I wasn't as disappointed as I expected in that transmission. I'm sure it's way better in the Enzo.
Yeah,
but not a dual clutch. It's not a manual.
Yeah.
So I think the GT stands alone.
For sure.
Yeah. So to me, the fact that it's I don't know, half the price of an Enzo right now,
right,
would be my guess. I still see value. There, kind of long term. And
well, on the value is a good topic for the Carrera GT because sticker price $425. The first one that sold at that dealership that I was at, they were asking $100K over, sold for $75 over. The next one sold for MSRP, and the third one that they sold was discounted. I remember the third one they sold was really funny. This guy named Johnny from somewhere in New Mexico, and anyway, he was scheduled to come pick it up on a Monday sometime. Well, anyway, he shows up to the dealership on Sunday. Well, in Colorado, we're closed, but he's peeking inside the window. And our general manager wound up getting a call from security saying, there's a man that's peeking inside the window and kind of, pacing around a little bit. And he says that, he needs to speak with you. So anyway, I think that the GM at the time, he wound up, he did go to the store because he lived really close. And sure enough, it was Johnny, right? He's coming and the GM says, hey, I'm sorry, Johnny, nice to meet you, but we can't do anything today because it's the law. Like we're closed today. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, he drove it back to New Mexico, wherever he was going. And I was asked on Tuesday, I think it was, to call in and check in on him. I was a service guy, at the time. Hey, call him, check him, make sure he made it there, because this is a car that's 4 inches off the ground with no axle lift. And it's got a long nose front on it, right? So if you don't know each driveway that you're entering, so gas stations, right? If you don't know the gas station that you're pulling into, you could severely damage the car. Well, anyway, I mean, he was excited to have it, but going back to the point, they discounted the car, to sell it to him. There was a point in time where you could pick up Carrera GTs for less than $300,000. I mean, they were tough cars, tough cars to sell. And then, of course, it's hindsight. You look at it stuff down. A car with 1,000 miles on it is selling for $2 million. Now, granted, that's pretty recent, that it's taken that big spike. But people have certainly realized that, there's never going to be another car made like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the powertrain was specifically designed for, was it Le Mans racing or F1
that
racing?
That sounds right. Le Mans
racing.
Yeah, because I think it was a 3.5 liter, and then they stretched it to give it some torque for the street cars.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, because it wound up being mid-engine V10, 5.7 liter, so it's a 350.
Hey, Ray's watching us.
No way.
Look at that. Thanks, Ray.
Wait, which Ray?
Ray Melkers. Yeah. Come on.
I can't.
It's the only Ray I know. Yeah. No. Thanks, Ray. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
thanks for commenting. Now we know that commenting works on this. So
that's fantastic.
That's pretty fun.
But yeah, so we've seen that car come a long way from the mechanical perspective. I mean, you're buying a race car, right? And race cars are time based, not so much mileage based. And so developing a race car to be used as a street car can be a little bit frustrating, not only for the manufacturers and the people that represent it, but obviously for the service stations as well. We were just talking today, actually. I was asked a question about 918s and their maintenance. How is maintenance on a 918? Well, actually, I mean, I personally have so little time with a 918 that I don't really know. I mean, I see the cars here that get serviced.
Yeah.
But talking about it with Julio, our service manager, maintenance cost on a 918 is actually less than a Carrera GT.
I'd believe that.
The 918 was developed to be a street car, not to be a race car.
Yep.
I guess for people that are listening out there, 918s, I'm learning like annual services are typically about $1,500. Okay, that's what I would expect for an annual service on a
That's
Carrera
not much
GT.
different than a GT2 RS, right? You got to pull the bumper to do a lot of the work.
Yeah, I think
So it's
not
not that far off.
right. Exactly. So that and the Carrera GT kind of share that similarity, but then it's the major services, are what's different. So major services on a 918 are supposed to be done every like 12,000 miles, or we'd say about 4 years, based on time, and that's roughly $5,000-$6,000. Depending on what needs to be. Now that's just the maintenance. That's not tires, but that's clutch fluid, that kind of stuff. Spark plugs, those things. A major service on a Carrera GT, you're going to plan on spending somewhere between 40 and 50,000, depending on what all is being done.
Yeah.
At some point, you may need to replace the camshafts in a Carrera GT. It's because
It's a race car motor.
It's 100% motorsport stuff, right? It's time. And it's not, the things when you're wearing components like that out, it's not because you're neglecting it. It's just because it's being used.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a cup car. What is it? 100 hours on the engine and 200 on the gearbox, or maybe the inverse of that. It's not a bunch.
No.
So to have that level of performance in a lot of these cars, and having them be streetable with, a race car, you've got a team watching stuff.
Right.
If you're driving your GT or your 918, it's just you out there, and
Right.
it's not going to throw a check engine light.
Right.
Just yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah. And then Carrera GTs certainly have a level of difficulty to driving them. I mean, that's anyone that has one, would agree to that. It is certainly not like getting in your 911 and taking off. So the 918 actually kind of wins out in that category as well.
Yeah.
Because it's very easily drivable, right? It does have the PDK transmission. So, I mean, there's a lot of, kind of hems and haws, I guess, if you were choosing between the two of them. However, in the world of Porsche cars, I get asked often, if you're ranking your cars, that kind of thing. So I guess, personal life experience, the number one car in my garage would be a Carrera GT. The second car after that would be a 997 4-liter. And then, I don't know, I would probably, even though I have such little time, but based on everything that I know about the 918, it would probably be a 918.
Yep.
Seinfeld said that if someone was going to have one Porsche in their lifetime, it should be a 918.
Should have made more. Then we could.
Well, I mean, that's, coming from, one of the
I think that's really interesting too.
Porsche collectors.
Yeah, the fact that it's, it's a hypercar and it'll blow everybody's mind, but it's totally drivable. I mean, it's coming up on a decade old, right? It was announced, I think, in 13. Something like that. And
if not before then, but yeah.
And we are just starting to crest past its acceleration numbers.
Right.
The new 992 Turbo S lightweight package will accelerate to 60 faster.
Yeah.
It took us a decade to get there.
Right.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I mean, I haven't seen, is there a Nürburgring time with the new GT3 RS yet?
no, they haven't published it.
Not unofficial.
Hey, Ryan, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. This is fun. We actually have like interaction.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
fun.
just us talking.
Right.
Do you need more wine? You got to finish that.
I keep hearing that the new GT3 RS is going to post a faster lap time than the 918.
I think everything already has, doesn't it? Doesn't the normal GT3?
Is it faster?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, with the aerodynamics and everything that it's got going for it, anyone that came back from, our phones are ringing.
Yeah.
Maybe someone's trying to talk to us.
Hey, don't call in. Comment on YouTube.
Right. But anyone that was out at Car Week, Works for Union, anyone that saw the new RS, I mean, they're talking about it. It is just absolutely an amazing car. I mean, 100% track weapon of a car.
That leads me into, I think, what's next, right? And this is, so here's my parallels. I think the 4-liter, the 997, as close to a race car as they could put on the street at that point. The 991s, I think they softened a little bit. Like if they're in hardcore mode, they're faster. They've got PDK. They're better track weapons.
Right.
But they're, to me, a car you could drive every day on the street.
Yeah.
I think that parallels with the GT and the 918. The GT is a race car.
Yeah.
But you can drive it on the street.
Right.
The 918, that was built to be a street car.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, they just made the new GT3 RS, and it's beyond race car. It's more than race car. You can adjust stuff on the fly. It's like if they had no rules race cars, obviously they have to do a little bit of safety stuff.
Right.
But that's next level.
Yeah. Right.
So to me, that's what the next hypercar is going to be, is amazing hyper-focused track weapon that's, probably not that street friendly. So to me, if I was looking for a car, if I wanted a street car or a track car, I'd buy a race car. I'd buy a cup car or something like that. And then if I wanted a street car, I'd buy a street car. So I think that's why the 918 is so appealing to me, is it's something you could drive and use every day. And that'd be awesome. Right. You just go out and enjoy it. So that's my 2 cents on those.
Yeah. No, that's
from
awesome.
all of my decades of experience driving them.
Right. Oh, hey, somebody messaged me. I asked them a very important question, about to be hugely let down. Let's see here. All right. So anyway, I think our 4-liter is going to go away.
Cool.
Yeah. It sounds
awesome.
like it sounds like it's going to go away. So I was hoping that it would stick around, here, but it sounds like it will go out of state.
I think we're getting phone books. You're going to see
they make phone books?
Yeah, I think so. Or this guy's coming in with like a box of TNT. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, something like that.
That's funny. Is he pulling on the door?
He's knocking on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we're recording, sir.
Yeah, I know. So I can't pick up. So he's knocking hard.
Yeah.
Huh?
But I can't hear.
I know.
I got headphones on.
Me too.
All right, this is being recorded, so if we're murdered, this guy's going to be caught. No problem.
I know.
Yeah.
Should I go answer it? Should we bring him onto the show?
No.
Don't go answer
he cannot
it?
come to the show.
Can he come in?
No.
Sorry.
He can't come in. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, buddy. I'm on the headsets. I can't answer.
Oh yeah. No.
Yep.
Sorry. I can't take that.
Yep. What do you think he's got?
I have no idea. It looks heavy.
Yeah. You can just leave it right there. There you go. That sounds good. I guess that's why we want to leave the lights off. He's leaving it. So if the building blows up, it was that guy.
Right. Yeah.
He's driving a Ford Taurus, I think.
Okay. Let's see here. And then we kind of got off topic.
Well, I think the other thing is, like, what do you see for upside potential for the 918 too? Right?
Oh, right.
I mean, in my eyes, any of that super limited production stuff, it's just going up. There might be some dips and waves in there because that's what happens with anything, stocks, the economy, rare artwork, whatever it is, but they're not making more.
Yeah.
So if you can get one, get it.
Right.
When I started here, there was a 996 Aero Kit car with 16,000 miles on it. I couldn't have bought it, but I should have.
Right.
And that would have been money in the bank.
Yeah.
It was just a really cool, really special car. So find the one you love. And, I don't know, with the 918s, like, what were options? Burmester?
Well, there was actually a lot of options.
Lift,
Visoc.
and Visoc.
Yeah, I mean,
magnesium wheels.
Yeah, crazy colors, the Visoc package. Burmester
and leathers and things like
leathers.
that.
Yeah. There was quite a few options, and that's when custom tailoring just kind of went to a whole new level for the modern kind of current day.
The yellow one is piping.
Yeah,
I've never seen piping on a modern Porsche.
Yeah, you really don't now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember from DuPont Registry back when I was in high school, like, you know, it'd be a 930 with blue piping and be like, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and then that was kind of my first exposure to the custom tailoring side of things where you ordered it, but you didn't know how much it was.
Yeah.
So you ordered it, and then when they made it, they'd tabulate, they'd calculate everything, and they'd say, okay, this is how much it was. Right?
That's a good business model.
So, yeah, so people were, you know, kind of putting pencil to paper and saying, wait a minute, you know, piping, you know, they use however many yards, not even yards. I mean, they're measuring meters.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah, you're off by like 0.28.
They're pretty close. Yeah. But they're measuring meters, you know, and saying, wait a minute, I paid $13,000, you know, for 2.5 meters of piping.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, you did.
And the install.
The install. Yeah. I mean,
and we had to like
Hans and Franz or
find a green cow. Like, do you know how long it takes to grow a green cow? They're kind of like flamingos, where, you know, like a flamingo, they turn pink because they eat pink shrimp. But the cows, I mean, those are a lot bigger. We're talking like tons and tons of food coloring that it takes to make that happen. Ray thinks that the next hypercar is going to be an EV. I think no.
I don't think it's going to be an EV, an electric vehicle. I think it's going to be a combo. I think it's going to be a hybrid.
Yeah.
But I've heard, you know, some chatter, V8 twin turbocharged, and then, but something really crazy with the electric motors, where instead of it being on the axles, it's kind of like on the side. Is our guy back?
Yeah, he's back. He's picking up the stuff. He delivered it and then he took it.
Oh, so, wow.
I don't know. Anyway. So
maybe he's going to blow up another building.
I think he's Amazon.
Wow. Oh, he's just leaving it at a different spot?
Yep. So it doesn't get stolen. So, I don't know. Yep.
Or is that our second round of food?
Oof. I don't think I ordered anymore. We got 5 people now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Look at that.
But I, you know, hearing Lieberman and some other people talk, I definitely believe it's a hybrid of some kind. And, you know, I've heard another guy just the other day says that he's seen something, one of his last trips in Germany, and mentioned, you know, LMP car, you know, kind of thing.
Well, DRS.
Right. On a street car.
4 sport chrono buttons, right? Is what we've got now. So you're going to have some kind of that thing.
Right.
I think the shocks have downforce on the RS. Like they're putting aero bits everywhere.
Oh, right.
So it's, I don't know. Yeah. That's going to be cool. So if you want to have all of them, right? I would argue the 959 is just a 911. Right, it's a No, well, I mean, it's a super advanced 911, right? It's
engine in the back.
Yeah,
all-wheel drive.
It's pushing technology forward with that, right? It's got adjustable suspensions and it's got a crazy engine. It's got an all-wheel drive system and adjustable height and things like that. But basically, it's on the 911.
You're right.
Platform, right? And the GT is not.
Right. No,
the 918 is not.
No.
The next one will not be. So in my eyes, there's 3 of kind of the modern hypercars that Porsche has built. So if you want all of them, if you want to get on the list for the next one, you should probably have a couple of those in your garage. Right? I don't know what Porsche is going to ask. You know, to buy the next one, if it's just show me your money or what.
Right.
I don't know if they can do anything like that. But
the guy that on his last trip in Germany was talking to me about Think LMP car. He said easy speculation would be starting at about 2 million.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Easy. Yeah.
I think Porsche's earned that.
Yeah.
You know, at this point.
Yep.
When the 918 was, you know, being talked about and people were criticizing, Porsche is not $1 million car manufacturer. Bugatti had that.
Hold my beer.
Right. And that's unfortunately where, you know, a lot of the VIP program, you know, kind of came from was through some of that development to try and sell those orders. And I am really hoping that they do not continue the VIP program.
I don't think they will.
I can't imagine they would.
To me, they're selling so many of these things. I mean, realistically, the 3RS, the new one's going to be a $500,000 car.
When it's all, I think by the time that
thereabouts
it arrives,
with tax if you don't live in Montana. right? So I don't know.
Man, that state's grown.
It has. It really has.
And I mean, speaking of that, is the ADM, added dealer markup, is still being talked about. And from what I gather, salespeople here that have been fetching calls, from last Wednesday, just kind of spouting out, thinking like somewhere between 125 and 250 markup. And so far, no one has said, oh, that's not going to work. Everyone says, okay, I'll get you that. Just get me a car.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
There's a lot of money. Don't you wish you could do that? Yeah. I don't know.
I'd still be doing this podcast with you, John, but I wouldn't be working here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would still work here. I would just,
it's fun. Yeah.
I really enjoy this. The couple that I had today, I mean, what a blast they were. She works for Paper Source, which I think is an awesome company. I know it because my wife and her mom are like super into crafty stuff. Suzanne more than Lauren, but so they love that store, and it was fun to talk to her a little bit about what she does and how she works and things like that. But she came in looking at a Panamera, and was like, I don't know what I really want. And that's what I love, is when somebody comes in and they don't really know what they want, because you get to do your job. A little bit, right? If it's, hey, I want a Boxer Spider, and I'm like, oh, here's a Boxer Spider,
right?
I'll take it. Like, that's awesome. I mean, good job doing your research. But this was kind of fun because it was, I don't know what I want. My Escalade's too big,
right?
I want to drive back and forth. I'm kind of a gearhead, and my kids like horsepower,
right?
Like, oh, well, cool. Yeah, let's try these things.
Yeah,
and I think they landed on the perfect car. Yeah, but. Just being able to explain it and show it off a little bit was pretty fun.
What's the statistic? It's 80% of the time or more, people do not purchase the car that they came to see.
That's not here.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I think it's in general.
But in general, I would.
That's
believe
like
that,
some, whatever, thing out there. But I could believe that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the couple that came in, because what did they pick up from you?
The Macan Turbo.
Yeah, the 2016 Macan Turbo with 118,000 miles on it.
Yeah, and $122,000 original MSRP.
One owner car, started new here in Colorado Springs, overly maintained.
Everything is leather.
Everything.
The rear view mirror is leather.
Well, it was done by Porsche exclusive.
Yeah.
So they had
the trim around the PCM is leather.
Right.
The buttons to adjust your seat are leather.
Right.
Crazy. And that's what I told him. I was like, look, I know this is kind of one of the first Porsches you've been in, but you're going to get a loaner in a year when you come in for service, and you're being like, why isn't that leather? What is this? How, and
black plastic.
Yeah, exactly. It's that car. Yeah. Man, what a thing that was.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. 118,000 miles, certified pre-owned warranty. It has 2 years of warranty, unlimited miles from today.
Yep.
What other manufacturer offers that?
I don't know.
I don't know of one. So I'm super happy for him. The other reason I'm happy is that they traded in a car.
We love trades.
Yeah, we love trades. Trades are great. 2011 Escalade with about 135,000 miles on it. Obviously, really well taken care of.
That's really clean.
It is very clean. Obviously, it has a couple nicks, small things here and there. But overall, that's a really nice car.
It'll make somebody happy.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you need to tow your race car,
there you go.
That'd be awesome.
Be a good one for it.
Yep. If you've got a new driver.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
But maybe you got a kid that plays hockey. They got a lot. Maybe it's a goalie. You have a goalie. Your kid is a goalie.
Or you're starting a band.
Yeah, you could be. Yep. You're a drummer. Or if you're the drummer, that would work right there.
Right.
So
no, that's
a cool color too.
I don't know the name of it, but
it's awesome metallic brownish. That's the technical name.
Wet desert sand.
Yeah. Morocco at midnight. But no,
we did acquire a couple other cars.
You're driving one home. What's Justin driving?
Justin driving? A 2013 Carrera S Cabriolet, black, gray interior. sports chrono package. I mean, loaded PDK.
Yep.
What's amazing about this car, this is another one of those that just landed in our lap somehow. It's only got 7,500 miles on it. What?
What a baby. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But he traded it in for a new 992 Carrera S Cabriolet, like the same car that he traded in, just the 992 version of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting
Was that the pre-owned white and brown one that we had?
No. He got a new one. He had
Oh, wow.
ordered a car over a year ago.
Yeah.
Right. And it finally showed up. Well, anyway, I'm excited to get his 992 in 9 years, with 7,000 miles on it. So I hope he and his wife drive this one a little bit more. But hey, whatever you like. And then another car that we got just yesterday, 2017 Turbo Cabriolet. It's white, black interior. Black top, really good build, nice equipment on this car. It's only got 9,000 miles on it.
16?
17.
17. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, really nice car. Very, very well taken care of. But again, just 9,000 miles. Like, what is happening? I mean, it's, anyway, I love it. I think it's great. And they're obviously enjoying it as well, selling it. Just, talking about Travis. Travis today was working on a deal, client trading in a Turbo S Cabriolet that they purchased from us a year and a half ago with 5,000 miles on it. It now has 22,000 miles on it. The car still sells for the same today as it did, right, a year and a half ago with an additional 17,000 miles on it.
That's a win.
Isn't that crazy?
That's a win.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy. I mean, that's not literally driving a car for free, but that's kind of driving a car for free.
Yeah, as close as it gets.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's not like driving, your Toyota Corolla for free for a year and a half. You're driving a Turbo S Cabriolet. That's pretty impressive.
Would you lease me one for like $5 a month?
No. Good try, though.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's another topic we wanted to get to? All right. So we had some guests in the showroom yesterday. It was fun. It was really fun. We have these two guys, very good clients here. They're like best friends.
That was this morning.
No, that was yesterday.
Okay.
It was yesterday.
Was it really? Oh, yeah, it was.
It was yesterday. Came down for service. And the idea was that they were going to go to breakfast and just kind of hang out for a service to finish up with a car.
What do you think they have for breakfast?
What do they have for breakfast? Mm-hmm. I don't know, weight room and some cocaine. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was thinking like the meat plate. Like a ham steak with a side of bacon, some sausage and sausage gravy.
Right. Well, I told him.
Maybe white toast dry.
Yeah. I told him to go to King Chef.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
do you think they could have the hot green chili?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe with a pound of sour cream mixed in.
Well, anyway, they wound up hanging out, here at the store the whole time, and it was awesome. It was great. It was great. And they met Jason, right? Our motorsports technician. Talked to him for an hour, right? And kind of, blew minds as far as, wow. I mean, they saw like how incredibly lucky we are to have a guy like Jason here. And then, and got to tell some stories, right? And just kind of shooting the shit, in the office, and just hysterical. I mean, just absolutely hysterical. And one of my favorite stories that came out is from this one client, and he was talking about games, that they used to play in the office space. Because I mentioned how talking on the radio is companies are starting to pay people less for working at home. That's like a new trend.
Sure.
And anyway, and so out of that, were several other things that we were talking about and came in these stories. And by far one of the funniest ones and easy to remember was he's talking about when young guys would come and do his work to start their careers, to make them do all kinds of weird, crazy stuff.
So it's hazing.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. And this is an extremely high energy environment. Lots of testosterone, lots of energy going on.
WWE?
A little bit.
Okay.
And one of the games was the new guys. They did what's called the vending machine challenge. This is something that we need to actually do. Now, we do not have a vending machine, but we have snack trays.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to see these guys up in Vail.
I hope they come.
I think
I really
they will.
do.
But you know what they have up there? They have a Veuve Clicquot vending machine. Tell you what, you buy your tokens at the bar. Continue with your story.
So, and
Veuve
so
Clicquot is sparkling white wine from France.
So I've never heard of the vending machine challenge. And he's, what? You've never heard of this? I said, no, what is it? I said, you got to eat one of everything out of the vending machine and you have one day to do it.
I love that.
And John, I'm telling John about this earlier. He said, oh man, I would crush that.
Yeah.
I would smash it. Well, to the point that the guy was making said that's what everyone thinks.
Oh, yeah.
You look at the top of the vending machine and you have, popcorn and chips and peanuts and, corn flakes, but then it's when you get down to Oreos and Mentos and packages of gum, you have to eat this stuff. And there's probably a year-old bag of Pop-Tarts in there, right?
Sure.
Yeah, Funyuns, that have, God knows when the expiration
I'm good with
date
all
was.
of that so far. I think when you get to the Winto Green Lifesaver, that might be tough.
But you have to eat one. He said nobody ever finished it. No one ever made it the whole way.
Tells you about the caliber of employee you were hiring. Get those chumps out of there, man. Hire a real.
They were all health conscious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, take those power bars. Give me 6 of those. No. You got to eat the Funyuns too.
Right. So I think that's something we should definitely implement here at the store.
A vending machine? I like that idea.
Vending machine challenge. It'd be to, new clients that come in from out of town. They're like, oh man, I think this is such a great experience. Never had an easier time, more fun time buying a car. All right, awesome. Now you got to do the vending machine challenge.
I love it.
I think that's, it was hysterical.
They'll remember it.
Oh, but yeah, these two, they sat in my office for, I don't know how long it was. It was a while.
Yep.
But it was, it wasn't just complete. Most of it was just crazy, crazy stories like that. But oh my gosh,
that's what I love about my job.
It was so fun.
Like there's a lot of like doing my job, but most of my job is not doing my job. Right? It's just like having fun with people.
Right.
And it's the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you all for letting us do this.
Yeah. We got some more people watching.
I know we got 5 people on. Ray thinks we should do a 911 RSR hybrid.
Ooh,
with all-wheel drive. So that could be the next hypercar.
That could be something like that.
I'd like that. That could even be like, maybe they'll do 2.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a 911 variant, and then they'll do the, blank sheet car.
So,
do you think that's good? I think my computer just sprayed out something. Is that dust?
It did.
I think my computer might have fried again.
Did we lose power?
No, we're good.
No,
it's still going. We're still live. Anyway, sorry guys.
So because we were talking about the Carrera GT and then something that you just now mentioned, doing 2 of one thing, right? The old Top Gear, the British Top Gear. When Jeremy Clarkson does the Carrera GT video. I think that's one of the best Top Gear videos of all time. One thing that he points out in that video is that the German perspective versus the British perspective, right? The German perspective was like, okay, it's perfect, we move on, and go from there. And that's when he says, but let's look at it from a British point of view. And then he just
does a drift
all over. Yeah, just going all over. And Porsche still, I think, takes that stance. You watch these release videos. My brain just went blank on me. Mr. GT.
Andy Pruniger.
Yeah, Pruniger. Yeah. And you can tell, when he's talking about it, it's project, right? He talks about some of the past projects that they've done, but they maximize its potential. And then it's like, that's it. I'm moving on.
Would be a really fun person to have away from his handlers.
Yeah.
Because he's an American. He likes big power V8s and big cars and things like that. But he is the expert at making the GT product.
I swear someone told me he has a place right in Castle Rock.
Well, let's find his address. Seriously,
Right.
like if he's that close, he needs to be here. He needs to be our third co-host, and we'll put a mustache on him, and what will we call him? Andy? Not Andy. We'll call him Randy Postinger. Yeah, Randy Postinger.
Right.
Yeah, and he'll be here,
Right.
and he'll spill all the dish, and we'll have the first of it, and
would
everyone will be like, "That's Andy." It's like, no, it's not. It's Randy.
That's Randy.
That's Randy. Randy Proninger.
He gets confused all
Yeah.
the time. No, we got to find out. But I could swear that I mean, a neighbor, right? A neighbor of his would.
Well, hey.
says he's got a place right in.
All right, figure that out, because that would add value to our clients to be able to have him here talking about stuff.
Absolutely.
I would appreciate that. We could have a party.
We could certainly have a car.
And also, if that's true, why isn't he here for Hill Climb Week? Like, come on, dude.
Maybe he is. Incognito.
Randy Proninger?
Maybe Randy Probst is actually Andy Pruninger.
I don't think so. He sounds a lot like Elizabeth Warren. Randy and Elizabeth Warren have like the same just expressions and stuff. It was weird. I was watching her with an interview, and I was like, God, you remind me of somebody. And then it clicked. I was like, no, you're Randy Probst. So anyway.
Okay, so I wanted to move on. We had a couple things.
Did you finish your water yet?
I'm getting there. Canadian cars.
We're almost out of time, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Yep. Okay. So real quickly, we are possibly the only Porsche dealership in North America that handles quite a few Canadian cars.
Other than Canada.
Okay, in United States of America. Yeah, so we're one of the only Porsche dealers, if not the only in United States.
There you go. Yeah. The Canadians don't like that shit. They send all of them down here to us.
Get over it.
They pick up the U.S. domestic.
We have Canadian friends.
We do.
Yeah. Lee.
Yeah. Great man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Working under the mountain.
I think he would laugh with us. He'd think that's funny too. But Canadian cars. So for example, we have a Canadian Speedster that's sitting right behind me.
Yep.
But, in the past, people would say, like, you got to disclose that's a Canadian car. One, no. Right?
Yeah.
No, we don't. We do. We mentioned that it comes from Canada because you'll see that the analog speedometer is kilometers per hour, not miles per hour.
Makes you feel like you're going fast.
Right. Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere you go is at least 100 miles.
Man, I'm going 120.
Right.
Slow it down, man.
Right. Exactly. So a long time ago, right, there used to be, there still is, like what they call 50 state emissions cars. And then beyond that, you had rest of world cars and, Europe cars and Japanese cars. You still have rest of world, North America, Europe, and Japan. For China market. Japan.
Probably both.
Yeah.
China doesn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, right? It's about safety and emissions.
Right.
So,
but the way
whose standards are higher?
Well,
I love you, China, but come on, get your act together. Seriously.
But Porsche, I would assume most manufacturers on the planet now, they make cars pretty much one
They're
way.
global. It's a global car.
Exactly. It's a global car. So if a car gets sent to Canada or if it gets sent to the United States of America, it's the same thing. The difference is obviously the analog speedo, right? The Canadian cars do not get a Monroney. That's a US thing only. The Canadian cars come with a build sheet, like what we print off.
Yeah, this is here. It's got this stuff.
The VIN label, right, and the door jamb has a little maple leaf on it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's the same car. The warranty is the same. All that stuff.
It's interesting. It's PCNA is
Porsche Cars North America, right?
So, so they must do the imports too.
Yeah, this is our. I know for sure second, possibly third Speedster from Canada. We've had multiple GT3s, RSs. I want to say we had an R from Canada. Was it you or Travis was joking around like, oh man, I bet the Canadian dealers hate this place because if they are watching us and they see Canadian cars populate here, like they're like, bros,
Yeah, I only got 3. 8.
And you're taking them. What's happening?
You take on my cars. 8. That's my Italian Canadian
people. So as far, I mean, if anyone is looking at our inventory and you come across a Canadian car and then you instantly just swipe right or whatever direction you go to say no.
Ooh, that's a great idea. I think you just made $1 billion.
Shh, we're live.
No, think about it. Like cargurus.com, but it's Tinder. And you just swipe. Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good. I think that's pretty good.
Do it.
I think that'll, all right. There you
Idea,
go.
man.
Hey, somebody out there, we've got 6 people listening on YouTube. Somebody make this happen.
Right. So anyway, so if you just scroll past, the Canadian car in our inventory, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
It's a mistake.
I agree.
Right. Nothing to be worried about there. It's the same exact thing as if it was sent here to the USA when it was brand new. We really do. I'm so glad the YouTube thing is working out right now because we want to have listener questions. And not just live. I mean, live is fantastic, but doing the Instagram posts, because what we need to do is we need to set up what's our lineup for next week.
Yeah.
We want to have things. I mean, we're always going to have things to talk about, but it'd be cool if we have, topics that we can cover that our listeners actually want to learn about.
I've got one. California voted no gas cars sold in California after 2035.
Wow.
And that's kind of where I'm at on it. I love electric cars. I'm excited for it. I can't wait for the new electric Boxster, the electric Macan. I think those are all fantastic. But I had a horrible charging experience this week.
Yep.
Trying to help a client, and it's just the infrastructure is just not there.
Right.
And I don't care if you're driving Teslas or whatever you're driving. If it takes an hour to charge your car on a road trip, that's a fail.
Yeah.
And a Taycan can charge in 22 minutes.
Right.
But you know what it needs? It needs help from the rest of its infrastructure.
Right.
And if the infrastructure isn't there to really support it, if it's hit and miss, it can't be hit and miss.
No.
Because a gas station isn't hit and miss.
Right.
And when people are wanting to buy Taycans, I tell them you're pioneering. As an around town car, you never have to go to the gas station.
Right.
Your house is your gas station. It's awesome. The performance is staggering. They're fantastic. Like the luxury experience, they're silent, they're smooth, they're easy, and they'll rip the face off anything on the road.
Right.
They're awesome. But we're not local. We're not hyper local anymore, right? We want to be able to go on road trips. Our buddy Dan, he's put 35,000 miles, I don't know what it is on his box. They're driving here to California. He can do that because there's infrastructure there to support that decision.
Right.
And I just felt so let down. And it should have been an experience where we pulled in, plugged in, and left before the rest of everybody was finished with their charge, because the Taycan itself is such cool technology. It's pushing everything so far forward that it charges twice as fast as everything. So they could be there, and they could have been there for 10 minutes, and we would leave with more of a charge in 22.
Right.
But it didn't happen because the charging network let us down.
Right.
And that's just such crap to me.
Yeah. No, it is.
And I don't know, maybe the new Inflation Reduction bill has money to actually make this work, but there's a lot of power that has to happen. There's a lot that has to happen. To me, for California to say in 12 years, you can't buy a gas car.
Right.
Get working. I would love to see it. Let's make it happen. But go try to charge a car. Go try to drive to Seattle.
Right.
And tell me how that goes for you. And let's figure it out.
Yeah. One more way that California's trying to push all their citizens out. Right. So, but
yeah, Lewis actually.
You don't need to come to Colorado.
Lewis asked me, do I need to find somewhere else to live? Should I not target Malibu? And I told him, look, still target Malibu.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's great there. And I applaud the effort to try to push things forward. But to me, I don't know if anybody understands what it really takes.
Oh, well, obviously they don't.
That's the hard part to me is there's just a bunch of fluff.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I was talking to a client today that he said, I'm ready for the electrification. You know, it's ready for a Taycan. Let's put something together for one, right? So I'm sending pictures of our
that thing's
cars
awesome
over here. That is, oh yeah, that is a sweet car. And anyway, and this guy is an engineer background, and he's already got stuff set up at home, knowing where everything's going to go. But he also understands that he is, kind of pioneering, part of the pioneer process for all this. And during the conversation, though, he said, but I don't think there will ever be a point in my life where I don't have a gas burning engine. It's just part of me. I love the sound, I love just the experience and the smells.
Yep.
And I kind of, and jokingly, I said, hey, I'm here to make sure of that, right? That you always have a gas burning engine in the garage.
And I think Porsche is here for that too. The synthetic fuels that they've been working on, that they're racing on. We've got Porsche will be in F1 in 2026, so will Audi. I think I would put money on they're going to use synthetic fuel to race on. I would say, here's $100. Let's bet on that, right?
Yeah. Because
that's what it's for. It's developing new technology and it's showcasing new technology.
Right.
They also have a new hydrogen powered car. It's not a hydrogen fuel cell. It's a hydrogen V8 that puts out 500 horsepower.
Wow.
And it's internal combustion. It burns hydrogen and it puts water out the back.
Right.
There's other things that could potentially happen, and I'm glad that the legislation is pushing the conversation and making things happen.
Yep.
But EV is not. It's not sustainable yet.
No.
Like there's a lot that needs to happen.
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's my 2 cents. And I would be in the Green Party. If there was one here, I support all of that. I love my planet. Right. I went to my elementary school was Michael Dowling Environmental Learning Center.
That was your elementary school?
Yeah. Michael S. Dowling, I think. Dowling Elementary is what it went by. But seriously, Environmental Learning Center was in the title of this thing. So it's as deep in me as it can be.
Yeah, that's very Minnesota.
Right? Yeah. In kindergarten, we're like going out on walks down by the Mississippi and picking up trash. That was our thing, right?
It's a different kind of sentencing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They called it juvie, but whatever. It was just the nickname.
We got to do our last segment. I mean, we're over time. We got to do Start Me Up.
You want to do it?
Doing Start Me Up.
Okay. Yep. I can't play our theme song.
I know.
I can't play
this one time.
Start me up. Na, 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 start me up.
Keep going.
Na, na, na. Okay, just hold on. We'll be right back. For those of you on, we got to turn this on. We've never done it. So we're always live to tape, but usually we can pause for a second and make something happen. Here, you guys get to see us making the magic, which is kind of fun. We lost listeners though, so for those of you that had bedtime, that's okay. I think we're turned up. I think I got the right things plugged in. I think they're all on. So, Justin, if you want to do... Oh, by the way, last week, nobody got it right, so we'll continue it on. If you can guess this week, you win a large or an extra large Colorado Grand jacket. Justin, start me up. Let me know what this is. All right. Ooh, there's sport exhaust. Sounds better than sport exhaust. Got some pops. I think it's a 4-cylinder. Anybody? Okay. Well, the exhaust does not smell like maple syrup, so I don't think this is a Canadian car. Anyway, I think that was pretty good. I'd have that in my garage. I thought that was pretty nice. So that was Start Me Up for this week. So somebody guess. You can guess here in our comments, I guess, or we'll figure out something to put up on Instagram at some point, or just text us, whatever. Text me, I want a Colorado Grand jacket. Tell me what it is.
Right. Awesome.
And that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Right. I thought that sounded good. What do you think?
Yeah. I think it sounds fantastic.
Yep. And it doesn't. We lost our live stream, maybe, or maybe we didn't. I don't know, but. I guess that's as good a time as any to end.
Yep.
we lost that. So for our YouTube friends, thank you all for hanging out. Ray, I don't know if our last 918 went to Canada or not. I think it went to Seattle is what I kind of remember.
Yeah, that's a great question.
That was the
I think it did wind up
liquid
in Canada.
Chrome with the livery. Or no, that was the gray one.
No,
it was a meteor gray.
Meteor gray. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ray, good job. Hey, Ryan, thanks for the props.
Yep.
Come see us. We're here all the time. You can be on the show.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We'll GT4 RS. What do you mean, Ray? We don't have any GT. You want us to talk about the GT4 RS? You're like a year late. All right. Well, we'll get back to that. So, and Ray, thanks for leading the tour down to the drive-in.
Yeah.
I think everybody that I talked to really enjoyed that.
Had a great time.
Club. So anyway, cheers to everybody. We're going to push the off button and then talk a little bit longer to make you listen to the actual the podcast on Apple, because that's important too. So
all right.
Peace.
Bye.
And
cool. And then we got to end our show.